So here's the tie rod, a left tie rod, looking from the back of the vehicle. Mine was, it looked like somebody hit something, but you can see it's no longer straight. And they also, when they did that, they ripped the boot pretty bad. It just kind of tore it up. So all the fluid leaked out. But anyway, this is the original boot on the left side. This is the right side, which was actually fine. It had some cracking here, and you know, I cut it to take it off just to make things easier since I had a new one. But you can see how it's narrow, and then gets about the same circumference as the I don't know what you call it, the housing, I guess, and this fluid bar, which goes from, you know, one side to the other. Anyway, so when I used the where'd it go? Oh, when I used the ones I bought, they were pretty much the same size all the way across. There wasn't really anything like you can see. Well, you can't see that one because it's collapsed, but you can see how it's not collapsed very uniformly though. But anyway, that one doesn't leak, it's fine. This one here, this is where the rack is, you know, and it doesn't, of course, you know, the rack doesn't go all the way across here. I'll go around this way. Hopefully you can see, you know, the teeth here, and you know, this goes in and out. But the old one, because it was the same diameter all the way across, maybe a little bit narrower on the end, but nowhere near the other one. I should just take it out of this oil, but it was just easier to just throw it on the kitty litter. And so here is the original, and you can see how this is, you know, the Bellows is wide here and narrow here, and this one's pretty much narrow all the way across, and they're pretty much the same, you know, up to this point. And then this one has a wider Bellows and this one doesn't. So what happens is when you make a left and it collapses this, you when it collapses it gets caught in the rack there, and actually cuts a chunk out of it. In this last case, it cut a nice little chunk here. There you go, there it is. Nice little chunk there. See that? Just chewed it right off, and that's not a stretch, that's a cut. And what I did was, the first time it happened, you know, I hooked everything up, nothing was leaking, it was great. Went down the street, you know, and made a right, made a left, and I lost my steering because all the fluid leaked out. But that's why. So what I did was, I thought maybe I did something wrong, so I checked everything. I didn't actually take it off, but you know, I could feel that, you know, this new tie rod felt fine. I could feel it actually in there, and you know, where it's supposed to be. And I ran left and right. It didn't seem to be overstretched, so what I did was I crazy glued that particular bellow shut, and I went ahead and put it back on like that. Well, I had it on, I never took it off. I actually had it on, I never took it off. What I did was take the clamp off, so I put a new clamp on and ran it, and it didn't leak, so I pulled out, and I just pulled out in my driveway. And when I did, I backed out with the hard left, and guess what? I had no power steering, pulled back in, made a mess of my driveway, and the same thing. So this time what I did was I crazy glued that bellow too, so now I had two bellows crazy glued, and I put it up on stands and tried to figure out what was happening. So, you know, I had it all nice and neat, and As soon as I pulled in hard left and collapsed the bellows and pulled it back out, it started leaking, and because it got caught in there, and lost my steering. So that's where I'm at this point. What I'm going to do, since these are the ones that are in stock at the only source I know of, I'm going to take the old one, cut it right here. Since this is the only bad part, I might even extend it a little bit, or maybe just cut the end of this one and then glue it on here. And I know that sounds crazy, but you know what, when I crazy glued this, it held, and it didn't leak from there. So as long as I clean everything up nice, like I did when I glued it on here, it holds. So I just need this enough to get it smogged, and then down the line here, then I can replace this with the $600 rebuilt rack, because that's the only one I could find. Well, actually, I did find another one online, but it was still $400, and there's nothing real. It's just a regular rack and pinion. So I'm also going to look for somebody to rebuild it for me, but that's neither here or there. It needs to be done, but for now, I just need it smogged. I just need to get it down the street, and I can't do that without power steering, or I really just don't want to. And I know the smog guy, he wouldn't want to move it around if he got it like that. So that's it. That's my